Hello viewers, this is Windshear. Welcome to my first assault weapon review in Battlefield 4. Figured I'd start off with the most popular, or one of the most popular assault weapons that you see day-to-day basis. It seems like everybody's reviewing this gun, and I am the last to show up with it. And that just goes in general with my playstyle and my experience in Battlefield 4. I find myself not really enjoying the assault class in Battlefield 4, and the reason why, I only think I have like 2 service stars with it. I think the reason why is, frankly, it's just boring to me. It's just this constant, you kill one enemy, you reload, you shoot some bullets at somebody, you reload, you kill maybe 2 enemies if you're lucky, you reload, and then you throw out an ammo pack, or excuse me, a health pack, regenerate your health, reload. You get where I'm going here. Reloading, spamming. That's all you ever do in this game is because you're having to reload your limited 30 round magazine clip. And then the other aspect of this is that you run out of ammo, which I'll demonstrate perfectly here. And as we know, in public lobbies and Battlefield, it's very uncommon for my fellow supportee players out there to be conscientious of their role in the battlefield and throw out ammo packs. Anyway, so this is assault, but I guess the issue, the topic we need to get to here is weapon performance. Well, typically in Battlefield 3, our history has been that assault weapons are the best weapons in the game, that being the most versatile, the most capable of kills at any given engagement, and the best blend of all combinations, short, medium, long range. Then I statistically kind of dive into, with my limited experience here with this weapon, and I'm playing with them like, my god, this thing's kicking like a mule. It's particularly like the AEK. I remember that gun in Battlefield 3, just being a laser beam in this game, it's like I can't hit anything with this gun. Again, it's the recoil. And then I look statistically, and I've compared in comparison to my previous video, and here I am, by the way, out of ammo. Anybody help me out here? Not much they'll do for you nowadays. But then I look at, like my last video, I put out a review, a detailed review of the LSAT, and I realized that the L85 has 40% more recoil than an LMG. My god. So needless to say, I threw a muzzle brake on this thing to mitigate the vertical climb, and of course you're taking a penalty for the full auto fire, if there really even is one. Sometimes I wonder about that quote 30% penalty, because I never notice it, but I digress. So needless to say, this weapon's not quite as newbie as you think it would be to use. I mean, you have this really quite long, 2-second reload time, which is just too long as many times as you're spamming this thing. And you saw me struggling with some long-range shots there, again, because of the recoil. But then it seems like other matches, like in this one in particular here, where I am just pulling off long-range shots without any kind of challenge whatsoever. It's like I'm closing my eyes and pulling them off. So again, I don't know if that's server issues or what, but bottom line is, this weapon is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. These are more general complaints about assault, and that's kind of why I don't play it. But this weapon, I mean, I was racking up ridiculous scores with it. It just seems so easy to get kills, particularly on these kind of game modes, TDM, domination, close quarters engagements, where you're just dealing with this a relatively few amount of enemies in a given time, 1 to 2 being the most challenging. I was getting scores, I'll show you here at the end, 40 and 5, 40 and 8. I mean, just mopping the floor. Of course, I'm playing these noobs right here, so I think this is some earlier gameplay I captured and finally getting around to posting it, but racked up 2 service stars immediately with this gun just in a few matches. So I mean, it is deadly. I mean, the fire rate 800 rounds per minute. I find myself really relying on that for close quarters engagement in conjunction with the laser sight here, firing from the hip, as you can see here, quickly assessing another target out there. So it's great. Not much to complain about, really. Again, my main complaint in general is just assault as a whole. Right here, I'll show you 3 shots here where I'm really not even seeing any kind of target acquisition. I'm shooting through these jail grates, which you know how difficult that is to get your bullets even through it. But yeah, I dropped 3 guys here without really relatively any effort on my behalf. And I mean, that's what these guns do. But I find myself really wishing that they would bring back the L86 in the support class like they did with Battlefield 3. I feel like that having this gun in a support configuration with double the ammo capacity and having the support spin on it would be a great complement to the weapon groupings in Battlefield 4, particularly in the support classes. I feel like we're lacking in support on Battlefield 4. There's really not a lot of weapons besides the RPK or the QBB. I guess the U100 has, quote, replaced the role of the L86, but it's lacking. It doesn't fill the shoes the L86 did. But I feel like this weapon would be a good complement in that kind of configuration. But all in all, this weapon, the only other weapon that I've used in Assault, I have not unlocked the Ace-23 yet. I'm working on that. But the SAR-21 is the only other assault weapon thus far I feel like is similar to this, but I mean that has such a lower fire rate comparison to the L85 here, which has 800 rounds compared to I think 650 is what the SAR-21 is. But the SAR-21 definitely has more of a longer range capability than this weapon does. But for your given assault type scenarios, I would recommend this weapon over the SAR-21 simply because most things in this game, your engagements are short to mid-range, and you can easily get out of the long-range engagements if you have to. Whereas so many times you're caught with your pants down with those close-range engagements, and you really just have to rely heavily on that fire rate to get you out of those scenarios. Chances are most of your mistakes are made in close-range engagements where you're just not aware of where the enemy is, or you overlook an enemy, you get overwhelmed, and basically having that fire rate 800 rounds per minute will get you... you pretty much can go toe-to-toe with about any weapon and win that engagement, even ones that fire quicker than that, because then you can rely on this weapon's accuracy, which really is impressive. I mean, the aiming downside accuracy, the spread of it is so tight that it's really not going to be a problem for you to drop targets at those kind of ranges, even full auto. Now, you can talk recoil compensation and fancy terminology like that, but that's just something I don't do on PlayStation in particular. I think this is too much for me to manage when you have two joysticks you're controlling simultaneously in conjunction with your thought process. This is just too much to handle. So that's why I put a muzzle brake on. That's why I burst fire the weapon. I think that's easier to do on PC, easier said than done a lot of times, but hope you guys like this video. I'm going to be moving on to my next assault weapon I'll be reviewing. I'm interested in more is the M16 A2. I like that burst fire capability, and I'm going to try that weapon out a little bit. Also, you'll see this G18 that's going to be coming in the future here about how I still think this is the best sidearm, which people seem to not really use that much, but we'll be discussing those in my next videos. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this weapon or the assault class in general in this game. Hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you on the battlefield.